Hi everyone, welcome back to Cabin Crafts and Simple Living. And I found this book in my bookshelf the other day, and I thought that this would be a really good closing video for the folk art series that we just did with the little chest. And Grandma Moses is one of my folk art heroes. And I found this book in my library, like I said, and I'm just going to open it up and just read the flyleaf real quick to you. Uh, it says, born Anna Mary Robertson in 1860, Grandma Moses witnessed the Civil War, two world wars, and the advent of the automobile, airplane, and countless other startling innovations during her 101 years. Though commonly associated with New England, she actually spent the greater part of her many years on farms in upstate New York. Now, the interesting thing is my oldest son, lived in Vermont for 5 years. And right directly across the Vermont border, as the crow flies, was her farm in Eagle Bridge, New York. So directly across from Vermont. And I just wanted to show you how naive her paintings are in this beautiful little book. Like I said, she lived to be 101 years old. She was very popular in Japan. The Japanese people loved her. For some reason, they just thought that she exemplified everything that they thought about early America, and I believe that they were correct. This one's called Waiting for Santa Claus. Look at all four of the kids in the same bed. So can you imagine the things that she saw? Look how she paints very simple landscapes. There's those twiggy trees that I was telling you about. Sleigh rides. She shows a lot of people doing their day-to-day activities, which is actually a gold mine for people who are studying early history. Now, this is called the Checkered House, and when we went up to Vermont to visit my son, this was really interesting history. This had been around since before the Revolutionary War. It was a stagecoach stop, and they told me that a lot of people were illiterate at that time. They could not read. And so they painted this house in this checkerboard pattern so that people would know, oh, go to the checkered house. That's where you can stay. And in her memory, that was a very vivid memory of the landscape, that she remembers the checkered house. And it burnt in the early 1900s, unfortunately. But it was a stagecoach stop and inn, and you could stay there. And she painted that painting actually several times. She painted it with Revolutionary soldiers in the front yard because they actually stayed there. And then she painted it in later, happier times. In some of these scenes, you see people doing work. They're doing their chores. Just absolutely. This is called a well sweep. So that big pole would swing and dip down into the well. So these are actually really good. There's a log barn. If you really want to see early America, she was painting it from real life. And everywhere I went in Vermont and upstate New York, covered bridges, everywhere. There's a barn dance. There's those rolling landscapes. This one, she's looking out of a curtained window. This is an up-close detail of one of her paintings. Look how simple. I mean, people just have an eye, have two little dots and a red mouth. Just too sweet. This one's called The Rainbow. Country Fair. Joyride. I mean, this is the quilting bee. Look at all of the stuff going on. Now, you want to talk about simple living, which is what I've kind of renamed my channel. This is the epitome to me of simple living. It was hard living, but it was simple. Here's a blizzard. She's got the trees blowing. There's a modern town with cars mixed with a horse carriage. So she's actually catching that time period in between modern innovation. There's the checkered house again. She loved to paint this place. It just really stood out. It burned in 1907. What a shame. Here's a scene where an automobile and a horse and carriage nearly have a wreck. So can you imagine living at that time where you're seeing, and my great-grandfather told me he was 15 years old when he saw his first automobile. This is making apple butter. And I had my great-grandfather till I was 21, by the way, so I got some stories. Look at the ladies peeling. Very simple, but her paintings tell a story. I just thought you all would enjoy this. This is the apple butter painting. That was the detail up close. And then here's the whole thing. Now, what I want to show you is, and please understand, I am not begging for money. But I wanted to show you, I sell these puzzles in my store. I wish I didn't have that glare. Let me see if I can direct that light somewhere else. I think it's the light from above on the table there. But do you see the name? Will Moses. Do you see the manner of the painting? It's called Frost Moon. So Will Moses is Grandma Moses's great-grandson. And he paints in her style. Now the cool thing is when I went to go visit my son, and here's a barn dance going on. It's fall. Here's a little calf. It's just crying its lungs out. Here's two little kids hiding behind the wall. There's a couple smooching behind a tree. Here's another couple smooching. Where are they at? Where are they at? There they are. They're smooching behind a tree. These are so full of so much fun. You just cannot believe how much detail he puts in these paintings. And it just goes, and they're 24 by 30, so they're really big size. 1,000 pieces. And so he paints in her style, but a little more detailed, as you can see. This one and the other one I'm about to show you are two of my favorite of his paintings. He lives on her farm, and we actually drove out to his farm. He's the sweetest man. He's about my age, and he will meet you. He'll be in the studio sometimes, and when I call to order puzzles, he'll answer the phone. Just such a sweet man, so talented. Here's my other favorite, and the reason why I love this one, and he paints Vermont a lot, which is where my son lived. This is called Thanksgiving Snows. This looks exactly like my son's house that he had in Vermont, minus the little additions. It looked exactly like this federal period. Here's a mill. And they're trying to catch turkeys. See, there's turkeys all over the yard. I collect turkeys. These are just, and see what I was telling you the other day about the rolling hills and the rolling landscapes. And they're very simple. I mean, look at this guy's face. That's a hobo with his dog. Got a pipe hanging out of his mouth. They're very simple, but you understand what you're looking at. Children running in the front yard. It's starting to snow. It's Thanksgiving Day. This is quintessential New England. This is quintessential simple living. I love these. And I just wanted to share this with you today because this is that style that I'm talking about that we painted in the little chest. Also, I wanted to tell you, if you can't cut your own stencils for like the house, I actually taught a student to make a square with Scotch tape or even that frog tape and cut out a square, and you can stencil within your square a frog tape, and then you can hand paint in little black squares for your windows. Or this one's even gray with little white. See how simple that is? Y'all could do that. And how I showed you to paint the clouds, you could put little snow on the roof. And another lady asked me a question, could I put wipe stain over the top of my chest if I don't have Bry Wax? Absolutely. If you do not have Bry Wax, and even some of these new stains that they have, or furniture waxes that go with the chalk paints, I believe you could actually use those too. So feel free to experiment. Try it on a board or practice with. I told one lady to practice with kitty watercolors for a landscape if she wanted to before she actually put it on something if she was nervous. So just play with it and experiment. But I thought y'all would enjoy about the Moses family because they're just my favorite. I just love these folks. And she didn't start painting until she was in her 70s. That really fascinates me. And her artwork went all over the world. She was at the Museum of American Art, Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. And like I said, she just really, really was prolific. And she didn't get started till she was in her 70s. So you know what? It's not too late for any of us. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this little quick video, the finale to our folk art chest. And if you liked this video and some of the others, please go back and look at some of my original videos that was on just the channel Cabin Crafts. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so. I do have these on the website, but please don't ever feel pressured into buying anything. I don't want you to feel like I'm begging you all for money. I want you all to have a simple life. God bless, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.